You're listening to the Chronicles-of-Livin podcast, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. Now let's talk. Greetings, my visionary dreamers. It is Adionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, saving you from the world, saving you from drowning. Just drowning. Yo, get out your own way, please. Yes, today is Let's Get It Started Mondays. And yeah, let's get it started. I mean, this is the Chronicles of Livin podcast show. And I'm here for y'all. This is a podcast that was created for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know us normal folk out here in the world, just, trying to make a living, trying to survive, trying to do what we need to do. So today was a very trying day for me, and I had to push this time back, and I was trying to figure out the doggone calendar, so I hope people that normally tune in at 6:30 or whatever, they'll come back, I'm sure, on Wednesday when I'm on time. But I did warn the people that I could warn. Anyway, yeah, I kind of worked late today. If you've been following, I'm an events coordinator, so I totally forgot about one of the events. I didn't forget, but it was just the timing thing. I had to set them up and stuff. So anyways, it's all done. I'm just catching my breath. I'm literally just sitting down. So I need to go over these notes. And I decided that today's topic was, after I listened back to the topic yesterday, I was like, I was underprepared yesterday, talking to my daughter, and today just was one of those days. It's just like, the top of the week, so you're trying to catch up with everything. And but I just really thought that there were a lot of points I didn't get a chance to hit on and things of that nature. I'm going to Musa right now and calm myself from rushing up here to talk to you. So yeah, let's get back to it. The topic of the day is just part 2 of love versus unforgiveness. And we all as beings, we want to be loved. We all want to be loved. I don't care how hard a person try to act or, whatever. Everybody wants to be loved, And I was reading in one of my spiritual leaders, actually the spiritual leader that started this institute, one of his books. His name is Swami Rama, and he was saying something in there about, I'm not going to recite the words verbatim, but I was just reading this, and I'm just going to give it to you in summary. But yesterday I touched on, when we're kids, when we're born, that's when we first start getting a taste of love, affection, emotions, and all of that thing, and all of that. And we're trying to figure out the language, and how to get what we want without even talking as babies. But I was reading today something in one of his books, and it was so ironic that I read this, because I'm like, dang, I just was talking on this yesterday, and he was just talking about, like, when you're a child, how, everything is yours, that's how you connect with people. Because if you have parents that give you everything and that just don't teach you boundaries, don't teach you how to share, don't just give you your way all the time, and that's how, they just let you go just like that. There's plenty of parents that let the kid control them instead of them controlling the kid. And it's not about control. Again, as I told you, like, from a very young age, I've always showed, my kids respect. Like, even though they little people, they deserve respect too. And that's where it starts. You teach them respect, you give them respect, and then they'll know what respect looks like. You got to stop them and you got to let them know, like, this is me respecting you. When I used to teach the Boys and Girls Club and I first came in, I told them from the gate, listen, I'm going to respect y'all if y'all respect me, and that was it. And they knew what I meant by that. I was dead serious when I said it. And the ones that test me, they found out real fast that I was not the one to be playing with. And they all became my little friends, the little people, they all became my little friends. But even in that, I had to teach some of them because they didn't know. They didn't know what love looked like. I'm not going to say all of them, but I'm going to say probably 50% of those other kids that came to the Boys and Girls Club, they didn't know what love looked like. They didn't have parents that, invested that time into them. And from my understanding, talking to them, some of them didn't even have teachers that invested the time in them to show them any type of affection or attention, the things that they needed. So, as you grow up, when it's kind of like you're malnourished with love and affection. So now, where do you go with that? Where do you go with that? This is all you know. You're not getting the proper love, attention, and affection. And now you're growing up into this adult. You're not taught boundaries. You're not taught to share. You're not taught the word no and put in your place when you're out of place as a kid. And then you grow up to be this adult. And then now you go out here into this world and you're trying to be social, you're trying to be involved in relationships, and then because you were never taught right, you can't understand why your relationships are not right. And this is what happens in a lot of occasions. Not all, but I'm just saying in sometimes you can be a loving individual and you can have unconditional love for people. You could be a person that has no judgment or anything against anyone, but then you hook up with somebody that fits the description I just said. And then you can't understand, I'm giving this person my all. I'm giving this person love. I'm, giving this person attention. I don't understand why they can't return it back to me. And this is where the whole Maya Angelou thing comes back into place again. When a person show you who they are, believe them the first time. Don't think that you could just change a person. You only responsible for yourself. And if people don't want to take responsibility for themselves and for their actions, then that kind of leaves you like swinging in the wind. And at that point, that is your decision if you want to stay or you go. And in so many cases, a lot of people stay and then they just stay in year after year, and then they wonder why things are not changing. Because the bottom line is this. Again, you have to learn to love yourself. Once you learn to love yourself, then everything else will fall into place, because then you're setting a tone. You're setting a certain respect for yourself. You're setting your value, and you're showing it, and you're walking in it, and you're not swaying from the change in your thoughts. So it's like another thing that is a problem when it comes to like unforgiveness. Now I'm talking on unforgiveness, is pride, ego. People just don't want to forgive a person and let something go because of their pride, because of their ego. It's like, oh no, you don't understand, adionne, this person did this person. Please, I done had some stuff done to me, for real, seriously. And my thing is this: you are not hurting them. When you do not forgive a person, you're not hurting them. You're hurting yourself. You're making yourself sick. I was reading a book and listening to Dr. Ken, and she was talking about, I was trying to get to y'all the fact of the different diseases that you can cause within yourself because of your emotions, because of unforgiveness, because of carrying that baggage or whatever. So my thing is this, it's not just forgiving other people, it's forgiving yourself. A lot of people go through life and they do things and they feel bad about it or shamed about it or regret it. And then now they're carrying this baggage where they don't forgive themselves because of what they did. Or if somebody that they was in a relationship with, and when I say relationship, I'm not always talking about a relationship between a man or a woman, and or a woman and woman, whichever, I'm talking about relationships, period. Your mother, your brother, your sister, whatever, relationships, period. You know what I'm saying? If you get to a point that somebody that you was in a relationship with, maybe you messed up, maybe you did something, maybe you didn't, maybe they trying to make you think that you did something wrong. Because a lot of times, like I said yesterday, people will manipulate you and make you think because they know how much you love them, they'll make you think that you did something wrong when really it was them. They'll flip the script on you real quick, just to get themselves out, just to protect themselves. They'll get in your mind and make you think you did it. You was the cause of the problem. And then if you're not careful and if you don't love yourself and you don't value yourself, you'll take that. You'll take it on and be like, oh yeah, it was my fault. I'm sorry. No. So when you carry that unforgiveness in your heart like that for years and years and years, not only, I know what she was saying, Dr. Keenan was saying, she was like, anger causes cancer. It starts breaking down your organs inside. You got all of these people out here all of a sudden coming up with cancer. I mean, half of it I think is doggone vaccinations and all that stuff, but hey, that's just my thought on it. But in the food, some of it is the food, but some of it is you. Some of it is the things that you're holding inside of you that you don't want to talk about, that you need to release. People get cancer and you be surprised. You can heal yourself at sometimes. Sometimes you can heal yourself. I'm not going to say all the time. But I've read and I've seen stories on people healing themselves because of them shifting their mindset, shifting how they thought about themselves. You are the only person that put limitations on yourself. Nobody else puts limitations on you but you. You have control over your life, So sometimes they say happy people live longer. I can believe that. Happy people live longer because they're not carrying around all these burdens. They're not carrying around all this unforgiveness. They're just showing love to everybody they come in contact with, to the world. And if you're showing love, then guess what? All that's what's inside you, that's what it is. That's how your organs look. I looked at a study it was about water. It was about this experiment they did with water. And I have to get the names. I'm going to put the links. I promise you, I will put the links. I just have to. I watch so many doggone documentaries. I'll be forgetting some of the people's names, but I'll know it. I'll find it for you. But anyway, he did this experiment, and he got one of those crazy names too. But he did this experiment with water, and basically, he had, I don't know how many different glasses of water, but the different glasses of water, he basically talked different things to the water. Like love, say this glass of water was labeled love. This glass of water was labeled shame. This glass of water was labeled dummy, so forth and so forth. And he spoke those type of words to the glass of water. And I need to remind you that we are, I think it's 70%, we're made of 70% water. That's why we have to drink so much water to stay hydrated. But our bodies are made of 70%, 70 or 72% water. Everything else is like, well, I'm not going to get into it anyway, but we're made of 70 to 72% water. And so, therefore, each thing that he spoke to these glasses of water, by the end of the experiment, I can't remember how long the days were, but by the end of this experiment, once he put a drop of the water from each glass under the microscope, like say the water that was spoken to with love, every time he spoke to it, he spoke, I love you, I appreciate you, stuff like that. It was crystallized. The little drop under the microscope was crystallized. The water that he spoke to and just said things about shame, you a dummy, this and the other, the drop of water was fickled. And so forth and so forth. So it's amazing how water is like, you can create vibration with water. You know what I mean? This is why it's so important. Water is so important to us, to our body. You know? So if a glass of water, then it was another experiment with rice where they took these kindergartners and they did these 2 jars of rice. And I believe I might have talked about this in one of my podcast shows, probably earlier on. But they took this group of kindergarten kids, and they had one group that talked bad to the rice and another group that talked, nothing but good things to the rice. And by the end of the week, the rice that had the kids that talked all good things turned like a golden color. And then the rice that they talked to and they said all bad things was molded. This is rice. So, and water. So if rice and water can change just by the vibration of the tone that you're using, the words that you're saying to it, this is not something that just can get up and walk around and say, shut up. Stop talking to me like that, If that can have an effect, if words can have an effect on rice and water, imagine what it's doing to you. Imagine what it's doing to people, to us as beings. This is why, God tell us just, to just walk in love, be love. That's my goal, is just to be love. Not be love like as in just give love, but just be love. Like everything about me, just be love. So when somebody see me walk into the room, all they feel is warmth. And I'm getting there little by little. I'm getting there. I'm working on it. I'm good at putting a smile on somebody's face. So that's a good step right there. And I'm not saying that it's not hard, that, some people are very challenging. But the bottom line is this. Again, you have a choice. You have a choice on how you start your day. You have a choice on everything, mostly everything about your life. Mostly everything. I would say 98.8% of your life, you have options and choices to decide how you want to feel, how you want to be, what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? The things you want to accomplish. It's you. It's just like this. What a lot of people don't realize is this. When you carry unforgiveness in your heart, and you die with that in your heart, or you give birth to a baby, to a child, do you know you pass that on to your child? And you wonder why some of these kids come out with afflictions. And I'm not saying all kids, and that's not all, but sometimes some kids come out. Matter of fact, me and my cousin, we were talking yesterday, after the show yesterday, and we were talking about, I'm not even going to get that situational energy, but we was talking about, situation, whatever. And we was talking about their child and how sickly the child is. And the mother of the child is just, all she represents right now is she's just representing evil. But she has a record of being kind of wicked in a lot of ways. And so my cousin was just saying, she was like, you never know, that could be a hereditary dark spirit within her. And then now, her child came out with all of these issues because of what she was carrying. And I can believe that to be true, because over the weekend I took a course on herbal medicine and polarity. Well, I know y'all know what I'm talking about, but anyway, with sunlight. But it was about energy healing and body energy healing and stuff like that. And the teacher herself, she was saying that. She said that she changed her life because she thought she could have kids and things of that nature. And she started living healthy. But she found out once she had her kids, it was kind of too late. All the things that she did and all the, the ways that she thought, it pretty much affected her kids, and they had issues, and she flat out said, that it causes issues when you have unresolved issues with inside yourself. Sometimes you could pass it on through your kids. It might not affect you in a way that it should, and then all of a sudden it's affecting your kids, and that's karma. That's karma. And that's what I'm saying. Karma comes back to you. It's just like this. Just like karma can come back to you in a bad way, karma can come back to you in a good way. Like I had to one day think about it, and I was like, wow, my son, he gets so much favor. And even my daughter, she gets favor. I pray for them, all the time. And they get a lot of favor. And I had to sit back and I'm like, wow. Certain things that happen for my son, I'm like, wow, this is only God. This is only God. But then one day, that little voice reminded me and just said to me, this is the reward of you being there and being a mother to the kids that really don't have one. So I was like, wow, that's deep. Because everything that I do from my heart. It's like, one of my son's best friends, and this is where I said in the description how we can affect our kids again. So one of his best friends was raised by his father. His mom was on drugs pretty much all her life. He never really had a relationship with her. And I can clearly remember how one day I was going to go get my son from school, and I saw him walking outside the school, walking home, because he lived near the school. But he was just crying, and he was just boo-hooing hard. And I was like, get in the car. So he crying. I was like, what's going on? So he's like, today is my birthday. My mom didn't even call me. She don't care about me. She don't love me. Like, my heart was just breaking inside as he just crying as he's saying this. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. So I'm telling him, I'm like, listen, no, she loves you. It's just that right now she is not in her right. She's not in her right mind. It's not about you. I had to go through the whole spiel and let him know, like, these are her decisions. She's an individual, and that's what she wants to do with her life. It doesn't have anything to do with you. I'm sure she loves you. She just don't even know who she is right now. She probably don't even know where she is right now. When I say where she is, I'm not even talking location. I'm talking about her mindset. And I had to break it down to him. And I think at that time they were around, I want to say 12. Yeah, around about 12. That was right, 12 years old. And my heart just really, like, I just was like, wow, I mean, his father, he was real militant. I had to get with him on several occasions. But I was just honored that God allowed me to be there for that moment for this kid. You know what I mean? To let him know that regardless of what he thinks, he is loved, and to be able to embrace him and give him a hug and give him the hug that he wished he was getting from his mother. Of course, I'm not his mom, but like I said yesterday, a hug go a long way, and that's what made me make sure that I was more, I made sure that I was more relevant in his life, and he started coming over and spending the night a lot at our house. And the same way I treated my son when I would tuck him in at night and tell him I love him, same way I would treat him, the same way, give him a kiss on the cheek, everything, same way. Because my thing is this, even though it was for a short time, that is him learning that he is loved. Even though he might not have gotten that from who he really wanted it from, he got it. You know what I'm saying? And till this day, I mean, now he's 19 too. And till this day, every Mother's Day, he calls me and tells me, thank you. Thank you for standing in the gap. Thank you for being a mother figure to me. I call him, I check on him, he calls me, you know. And this is what I mean, y'all. It's our duty. I believe it's our duty to just, when you see people in distress, I'm not saying everybody, you know what I mean? And I know everybody's not like me. And some people probably like, but yeah, I ain't hug nobody, no stranger, no this thing. I get it. But my thing is this, even if it's somebody that you know, call people, check up on them. And, the elderly, check up on them, call them like, how you doing? I just was thinking about you, You never know what that little phone call can do for somebody, how it brighten up their day, Just telling somebody you're thinking about them. That might have been a day that they was just going through it. And then because you called them just to tell them that you was thinking about them. And I know I'm going back and forth with love and unforgiveness and all of that, but I'm trying to squeeze so much in this one little show. But it's just so important because, see, love and unforgiveness is what really runs the world. Love and unforgiveness is what has countries fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? For years. Same countries hating on each other. Same groups of people, same religions, same, ethnic background, just don't like each other. For what? Because generations and generations just passed it on. And this is what I'm saying. If you die with that unforgiveness in your heart, you don't know how you're passing it on to the next generation. All your grandkids saw you do was hate on this race or that race, or, this religion or that. Don't get with this type of female because, don't get with a Muslim, or don't get with a Baptist, or they're not. Don't get with a Chinese person, white person. Come on, y'all. God is love, and that's what he intended us to be. Love one another. But then when something tragic happened, like 911 or, something, hurricane, that's the only time we could come together. That's not cool. It got to be a tragedy when we can show love to each other, when we can show affection to each other. And yes, I'm talking on a whole wide, range of things, because it affects every bit of life. When you don't have love for animals, you don't have love, it's all going to come back on you as karma, whether you believe it or not. It all comes back, and you don't want to leave this earth with bad karma. You really don't. You want to keep living on this earth with bad karma, because bad karma won't allow you to live in the present. It won't allow you to live in the present because you're still holding on to unforgiveness. You're still thinking about what somebody did to you or thinking about what happened to you. So how can you be happy in the present moment? How can you enjoy life? And then you pointing the finger at other people. I'm miserable because of this person did this, or because this person won't act this way. You gonna let somebody just have that much power over your life? Really? Somebody can just have that much power over your life. And that is what we're doing. We're giving people power when we carry unforgiveness. When we can't let it go. When we can't just say, I forgive you. And like I said yesterday, I'm not saying to you, somebody could have did something real horrible to you that you just don't want to face that person. I'm not saying contact that person just to tell them that you forgive them. No, I'm saying you can release them right where you are right now. Right while you listening to me, you can say, whoever it is, Sue, I forgive you. I forgive you for leaving me for, my cousin or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can say that. Just say it out loud. Write it down and just release it and say, I release you with love. Go on to do what it is you were put here to do in this world. And then that releases you. And now you can watch your body start to heal. Aches and pains start to go away. When you start being feel like, I'm 47 and I hate to say it, but a lot of people my age, they're on some type of medication, whether it be high blood pressure, low cholesterol, diabetics, or whatever. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because I believe that I'm fortunate, not just because I try to take care of my body and eat right, because some other people try to eat right and everything, and in some kind of way they still come down with a sickness. But I believe that God is sparing me because I choose to forgive people. I choose to love people. I choose to, you know what I'm saying, try to put smiles on people's faces. I choose to give affection to people, you know. And I think the more love and more affection you give out to somebody genuinely, I'm not saying just go start, oh, I'm going to hug somebody. You know? No, I'm talking about from your heart where they can feel it. They can feel when you say, how was your day? They can feel that you care. That whole, how was your day? Just them simple little words. You know? Calling, just picking up the phone and calling somebody you ain't. Oh, by the way, let me just say this right now. For any family and friends that are listening to me, my phone, I just cannot get a signal up here. I'm thinking everything, okay, I'm not getting calls. Well, today I checked my message, and I'm sorry, this is kind of off, but today I checked my messages and I had like 44 messages. I was like, OMG. I didn't even see no calls come through or nothing. It's just, and then I started listening to the message. So if you didn't leave me a message, I don't even know you called me. If you didn't text in, I only get texts when I'm in an area that my phone just connect to. So, okay, enough about that. I'm sorry, I'm sidetracked. But back to the love and the unforgiveness. So, yeah, just start releasing people, because let me ask you this. What is the unforgiveness doing? What is it doing for you? I mean, really ask yourself, what is me not forgiving this person doing for me? You know, what is it doing for me? What is it doing to me? And you will, once you really turn that back on you and think about it, you're going to realize this, you know what, this is stupid. I might as well just let this thing go. Stop, you know, holding on to it. Either you make your choice. Either you're going, if it's a relationship issue, either you're going to stay or you're going to go. You're going to love this person unconditionally for whatever they got going on, and you're going to accept what they got going on, or you're going to step off. One or the other, but there's no need to keep carrying unforgiveness and make yourself sick. You know? It's no need. And then not even just that. Like, for example, when my daughter had my granddaughter, she just couldn't understand why she would cry all the time with her. She would cry all the time, and then as soon as I pick her up, she would just be like knocked out. just instantly silence, you know, and then fall asleep. And she started getting mad at me, like, why every time you pick her up, she stopped crying and she fall asleep? And I had to let her know, she's feeling you. She's feeling all that's going on inside of you. She's feeling your energy. She's feeling that you're not loved right now. You're not feeling loved right now. You're not valuing yourself right now. You know what I'm saying? You're just taking on, you know, unforgiveness for what dude is doing, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, babies can tell. It's just like babies know when bad people come in the house. You ever see a baby that's a happy baby that go to anybody, but then somebody will come in the house that everybody knows is just not cool, and then the baby start crying? How is it? Or same thing with pets, with animals. A cat or dog will go to anybody, and then a certain person will come through the door and they start growling. If animals and babies that can't even really talk yet can sense a spirit that's not on point, then what do you think? What do you think you're doing to yourself? Like, that's not cool. It's kind of crazy how that is, but they are so sensitive. And I believe that babies are so sensitive because they haven't yet came through life where they were told so many different things, like you can't do this or you can't do that, or you get what I'm saying? Like they don't even understand the language yet. They can't talk yet. So only thing they can do is really they can talk somewhat, but they can feel, you know, through their emotions, and they feel a person's energy. They feel a person's vibration. And so if you're wondering why your baby crying all the time, you might want to check your energy. You might want to go somewhere and try to forgive somebody. I had my notes and I'm just like, I did not get a chance to go over them again. But I just hope that y'all really, really understand what I'm saying and really take to heart how important forgiveness is, how important, loving yourself, just loving yourself. And I'm trying to tell you, you love yourself, everybody's going to pick it up. Start taking responsibility for your own action. Because, see, when you start taking responsibility for your own actions, you start to heal yourself. And like I said, sometimes it's not our fault when certain things happen, but still forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for, blaming yourself. Release yourself as well. Release yourself. Get rid of your pride. Get rid of your ego. Release people. I'm telling y'all, love conquers all. I'm all tongue-tied. Love conquers all. Patience and love and understanding and compassion. I've had some hard shells to crack throughout my life. And I've cracked some hard shell people, And I think about it today, and I look back at some of the people that was like really hard and really like I could just tell just really needed love. And it was a tough journey, but with some of them it was a tough journey, but it was worth it. It was worth taking the time to invest in them. I believe it was worth it, because today they're different. They're different. So let me just look over my notes real quick and make sure I kind of at least touched on majority of the stuff. Okay, yeah. So let me just say this. So unconditional love. It's gonna go back to this. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. The love is intense feeling of deep affection, intimacy, attachment, and endearment. And an unconditional love is affection without limitations and conditions. I know that's hard for a lot of people. I know. But if we all start working on learning how to be unconditional with our love and not loving people just for conditions, just because they're doing certain things for us, or just because, they treat us a type of way that we want. Love them for everything, all their flaws, and you stop complaining about the things that is not right, but you magnify the things that are right, and you start telling them and talking about the things that are right in them and that they're doing, and tell them that you appreciate that part of them and be consistent with that. You'd be surprised how people change. You will be surprised how people change. Because this is the thing. Think about it. When you got kids, and I don't want to put pets and kids in the same rank, but I'm just saying kids or pets or, just adults too. When you tell somebody, like say a kid come home and they had all A's and they're young, and you just say, oh, that's so good, Johnny. I'm so proud of you. Good report card, whatever. And this is adults too. They're going to want more of that, which means that they're going to keep trying harder and bring back more good reports and more of whatever it is that you told them that you're happy about, and and then you go and you reward them for it. They want more of that. Same with, little dog, go get the paper and all of that and come wagging their tail and you give them a little treat. They're going to want to do more. They go to the bathroom outside in the right area and you tell them, oh, yay, good job. They want more of that. It's the same thing with adults too. Just because we adults don't mean that we don't want somebody telling us, oh, I'm so proud of you and it's a good job, and meaning it from your heart. Not just saying it just to be saying it, but really mean it from your heart. You know, both my son and my daughter, I'm so proud of them. Their GPAs are very, very high, almost 4.0 average. And, you know, I let them know all the time, like, yo, good job. And I asked my daughter, how do she feel when I tell her that I'm proud of her? She's like, I'll be gleaming. And so my thing is, she is, you know, she's in her 20s. And if she's gleaming when I tell her that, if my son is gleaming when he feels good when I tell him that, what do you think your spouse will feel? What do you think your mother will feel? What do you think your father will feel? Or whoever, your brother, your sister will feel if you give them some support in whatever it is that they're doing, or, you know, if they're having a bad time and you just go give them a good hug and you tell them you love them out of nowhere. Man, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. So I'm going to leave y'all with that today. And I just really want y'all to think about it. I really want y'all to think about, how do y'all want people to treat y'all? You know, as it says in the Bible, do unto others as you want others to do unto you. And y'all know I might be missing a word or two, but hey, I know I'm saying it somewhat right. So definitely think about that. Do unto others as you would love others to do unto you. Before you say something foul out your mouth to somebody, before you do something foul, stop for a minute and just think, how would you feel if that person said that to you? How would you feel if that person did that to you? Think about that. And then when you think about that, guess what? That'll start changing you. You start thinking about what you say out your mouth to people. You'll start, you know, thinking about what you're going to do. You mad? Take a step back. Like I said yesterday, don't go right at it. Just say, listen, boo-boo, I'm just going to have to see you in a few hours. Let me get my me time for a minute. I need to collect my thoughts. Even if you got the people that want to keep coming at you when you tell them that you need to go for a minute. I know that. There's some people out there that's like that. They want to keep coming at you. And for the people that want to keep coming at the person that's telling them they need some me time, let them go, please. Let them go. Let them go. Let them get their me time, because guess what? You need your me time too. And then y'all can work it out. And then when y'all both got a calm head, then you come back together and you could talk about it. And then that's how you get to the root of the problem, the root of the issue. That's how you start to forgive each other. That's how you look at each other, start laughing and say, you know what, that was stupid. Why are we mad at each other? You know. So, yeah, that's what it is. So homework for the day is this. Get some paper. I need you to write down everybody. I don't care if you got 100 folk. Everybody that you think hurt you or made you feel some type of way, or, you know, that you need to just release. Write their names down. Write down what they did, you know, and just put your hands on it. Hold it up to the sky, whichever way you want to do it. And read their names off and say, I release you, John. Or I got a boy named John. I'm not talking about you, John. Okay, I'm going to use different. I release you, Ray, from stealing my money. I release you, Barbara, for I named Barbara, but I release you, Jackie, for, I don't know, stealing my job, whatever. I know there's some crazy stuff. I don't have this stuff written down, but just release folk. You know, even in I release you for the abuse that you did. I release you for whatever it is that somebody did to you, for lying on me, for, you know, defaming my name, whatever somebody did to you that you feel in your heart. Every time you see their name, every time you hear their name, your stomach turn. Write their name down on that piece of paper, or on them pieces of paper in some cases, and read it out. And keep reading it out every day until you release them from your heart, until you feel like, you know what, this is it. I'm good. I'm good. If I see, Barbara Sue walking down the street, I can say hi and just keep it moving. I won't be looking at her with the side eye and slanted eye. I'm good. Just keep saying it. I release you. Say their names and I release you, and I release you with love. With love. That you go on to do the things that God sent you here to do. You know what I mean? Because all that's going to do is let God see and let Him open up more doors for you. Trust me when I say this. It's so true. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. This is Adionne. Oh, wait. Last thing. Y'all know I always got something else to say. So now I'm on, what is it? Oh, gosh. Castbox. 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 I found out today I'm on Castbox. That's an app, I believe. But, yeah, I mean, the podcast is growing. So I just want to thank all of y'all before I go off. I want to thank all of y'all for your support, your love. For sharing sharing the podcast show. And again, I'm working on a blog. I know I said I was going to have it up by, I think, today, but definitely I should have it up by the end of the week, by Sunday at the latest. Okay. And I will have some good resources on there. I'm working on it, y'all. Okay. So until Wednesday at 6:30, I believe, Wednesday at 6:30, I should be okay. Wednesday at 6:30, this is Adionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from the world, saving you from yourself, saving you from just drowning in words, drowning in the unforgiveness, drowning. So I love you guys. Take care of yourself, okay? Love yourself and love others. Peace. Thank you for listening to Chronicles-of-Livin, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. And if you are pursuing your dreams, I'm proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live. To keep up with us, please visit chronicle-of-livin.com. Until next time, this is Adionne, your dream pusher. I love you guys.